It's November. I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around that one. Don't mind the wet hair, I was just in the ocean. Hi guys, and welcome back to another recap video. As we know, last month I didn't really have goals, and as I said before, I want to set some concrete goals for this month. So what are my goals for Spanish this month? I want to finish reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That should be pretty easy to accomplish as I only have a little bit left, but I'm gonna have to actually stay committed to reading every day to make this happen. Yiddish. My goal is to finish the tree, and I think I can do it this time if I put a lot of time and effort into it, and I am going to do that. The other thing I have to consider is I will be traveling a lot this month, and that kind of makes me slack on my language learning. But no, I'm staying committed. I'm finishing the tree. Esperanto, there are no goals. No, that's a lie. I want to be in one class every week. I already failed this week. Oh God. That's okay. Starting next week, I am going to be in at least one class every week. So now we have some concrete goals for the month. Let's see what I can do this month. I have faith in myself, I think. So bad news for my Esperanto goals. We are in this lovely new room, but the internet in this room is really bad. So there is no way I can take online classes. So my Esperanto goal of taking at least one class a week is not gonna happen. Next week, I'll be in a different place with better internet, and I will try to catch up and do double the classes, but we'll see. I'm also not able to take my Spanish classes with Valley Spanish School, and that sucks too. The internet is good enough that I am able to do Duolingo, I'm able to watch YouTube videos, I just can't do Zoom classes or calls. So that is a bump in the road, but everything is fine. I am not accountable to anyone but myself and you guys. I don't want to be too excited or get your hopes up, but I've been spending a lot of extra time on Yiddish lately. A lot of extra time. The past 2 months, I've really only been doing about a half hour a day. This month has been 45 minutes to an hour every day. So it is a lot of extra time. I am trying to push through the Duolingo tree, but I'm also enjoying reading Harry Potter in Yiddish. And I've just started reading Harry Potter in Esperanto with my mom, so that's been fun. So that's all for today. Hello guys, we are back and in a different location. I can't tell you where yet, that'll be a different video. But I can say that traveling really hinders my language learning. I always feel like a little sick and really tired when I travel. So it's like 2 days where I just don't really study a whole lot. And that's not a lot, but I am a perfectionist, so it feels like a lot to me. I didn't do anything in Esperanto for like 3 days. Absolutely nothing. And then I just talked with my friend for an hour in Esperanto, and it was great, and it was pretty conversationally fluent, and it was a good time. So that makes me happy. Spanish where I am is different than Spanish where I was. Again, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away where I am, but the accent is different, and there's a slight learning curve there for me. Because my Spanish isn't at a super high level, so accents play a really big part in how I can understand. I got really used to the accent in the Dominican Republic, and a lot of people say it's really difficult, but for me now, that's what Spanish sounds like. So now I've just got to adjust to where I am. But with my goals, I am almost done with my Harry Potter book in Spanish. Very excited about that because that was my Spanish goal, and I am so freaking close to the end of the Duolingo Yiddish tree. Finally. But I always say that, so hopefully I will actually finish it this month. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, that's my update. See you later. So today's update is that I just was in a taxi with a man who only spoke Spanish for about 15 minutes, and we talked the entire time. I didn't stumble, I didn't search for words, we just had a conversation. He told me that he thought my Spanish was really good. We talked about the differences between his country and the United States, and it was so much fun. So I haven't even studied Spanish yet today, but I feel like that in itself is like so much, you know? Anyway, that's that. Hi guys, I look a mess. It's been a long day, but I am about to finish the Duolingo Yiddish tree. I have literally one more lesson to go, and then I'm done. I still don't feel like I can speak Yiddish, but I feel so, well, I don't feel accomplished yet. This is me before. We've got one lesson to go. Yes! I did it. Yes! I don't do well with accomplished goals. Ugh. Now what? Good morning, everyone. So something that I've been noticing recently is my brain feels like it's now got this outline for what language is. And maybe this is gonna sound dumb and like, duh, Chelsea, you should have already felt this way, but I didn't, so. Or maybe this will sound crazy and everyone will be like, what are you talking about? I don't care, it's working for me. So now with my 3 languages, Esperanto, Yiddish, and Spanish, I feel like my brain is going, okay, verbs, adjectives, nouns, grammar, this is how language fits together. together. And just like you can have different puzzles and the picture looks different at the end, the function is still the same. You're fitting all the pieces together to create this one big picture. And that's how I feel about the languages. While they come out sounding different, they are still fitting together in the same way. I don't know if this makes any sense to anyone but me, but it's making a lot of sense to me. The other thing I'm finding is that I already feel like I have different almost personalities when I speak different languages, but now Spanish is even weirder. Because for instance, in the Dominican Republic, passion fruit is called chinola, but here, passion fruit is called maracuja. And that's just one small example. They speak the language differently here. I almost feel like when I say the word maracuja, I'm not saying the same meaning as when I say chinola. I know it's the same fruit, but it feels different. I don't know, maybe that sounds crazy too. Another thing with my Spanish is I can look back to just like really a month ago. I got so excited a month ago when I was able to haggle down the price at a laundromat. Today, that kind of conversation just seems so simple, so basic. It seemed like such a big deal and such a great accomplishment then. And while I still think it was, I think it's awesome to see how quickly I feel that I'm coming along. I think I'm gonna make a video all in Spanish soon just so you guys can hear what my Spanish sounds like now. Alright, so we've got a week and a day left of this month. We are improving! Just a couple of days ago, I went to the movie theater by myself and watched Encanto in Spanish, no subtitles, and I understood almost all of it. I really freaked out. It was so cool. And that day just sort of felt like a turning point for me. Since then, I have been watching so many YouTube videos only in Spanish, no subtitles even. I've been watching so much Netflix. I've been really doubling down on my flashcards. So actually, I have not been using flashcards for months now. But just recently, I was talking to a friend that I speak Esperanto with, and she reminded me of how great flashcards can be. And so I started using them again. Anytime I hear a word that I don't know in a YouTube video, or I read a word I don't know, I put it into my flashcards right away. I have over 200 words in my deck right now, and I only created the deck like 4 days ago. And I just feel like all of a sudden my listening comprehension has skyrocketed. Yesterday, I sat down with like 5 guys from Venezuela, and we had like a 2-hour conversation only in Spanish. We were joking around, telling each other stories. I taught them some English. They taught me some Venezuelan slang. It was amazing. I've cut back a lot on my Duolingo. I only really do about 20 to 30 minutes a day. Right now, I am focusing solely on as much input as possible. Reading, listening, watching, and then on top of that, of course, conversations every day. And I'm really, really happy with my progress. Hey everyone, I just did a 2-hour long in-person Spanish class, and oh my god, I feel like the majority of Spanish I've learned has been from talking with friends and watching Netflix shows and reading and stuff like that. I haven't spent an immense amount of time studying grammar. So 2 hours of grammar in Spanish, whew, that was hard. It was really fun though, and I'm really grateful I got to do it, but man, I am tired. But no rest for me. In half an hour, I'm gonna talk with my friend in Esperanto on the phone for an hour, and then I've got to do a bit of Yiddish too. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. I really feel like I've made a lot of progress this month. Yay. And just like that, another month has come and gone. Sorry about the bad lighting. I don't have much of an option right now. So I'm really happy to have finished off the month by being a guest speaker in a beginner Esperanto class today. It was really fun, but oh my god, I really had to talk slowly. 1, because they're beginners, but 2, because I kept wanting to use Spanish words. So my brain is still struggling to separate Spanish and Esperanto. But that's okay, we'll get there. Let's talk about our goals. Esperanto goals first. I did not succeed. I wanted to take 2 classes a week, but instead of taking 2 classes a week, I talked to my friend Laura Jane in Esperanto twice, 3 times a week, every week. So I feel good about that. It wasn't exactly the goal I was looking for, but it's better than nothing, and I really love talking to her. It's a lot of fun. And talking together, we learn new words because we come across words we don't know. We talk about grammar points. So I mean, like, I'm still working on my Esperanto with her. My Yiddish goal, of course, we know I finished the tree. I do feel like my Yiddish is doing pretty well. I mean, I would guess that I'm at an A2 level right now, which is like not where I want to be, but it's still fine. My Spanish goals, I did finish reading Harry Potter. Because I'm traveling and I don't have access to a lot of books, I started reading it again. I finished Harry Potter in Yiddish too, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just rereading the books because they're all I have right now. And we all know I do love Harry Potter. I feel like I had a lot of breakthroughs this month about language learning, and that's been really great. And then of course, my conversational skill in Spanish has been growing. studying continuously, I would say. It's been really tricky just trying to get accustomed to different accents in Spanish. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. I feel really good about my goals this month, and I promise I am going to make a Spanish speaking video so that you can hear my Spanish instead of just taking my word for it. Now let's talk about hours spent. We'll start with Esperanto, which comes in at 18.5 hours of studying, Yiddish at 22 hours, and Spanish at 47 hours in total of studying. So I did bring up my Yiddish hours in comparison to last month. Really glad about that. In general, I don't think my hours vary that much month to month, but I am glad that I'm consistent at least. I don't know, I want more hours. Maybe that'll be a goal for next month. All right, and that is it. Thank you guys for sticking around, and see you next month.